Hi, Lisa here from Ladies Who Question, and this is part 2 of our interview with Turi Ryder, a talk show host, an author, and a podcaster, and someone that I worked with decades ago and who I admire very much. We left off on a cliffhanger on part 1. Turi was about to tell us about just one of the times that she got fired from one of her radio jobs for speaking her mind. So it's no surprise that her book was titled She Said What? And her podcast by the same name, Turi Ryder's She Said What? Let's dive in now. I think you're going to enjoy this.
So this story, and I give you this as my penance. This is me beating my chest. I don't know if it picks up on the microphone, but essentially what had happened was it would be like you had a Steinway piano dealership, and they weren't selling any pianos, so you converted it into a Harley-Davidson dealership, and they kept the Steinway salespeople saying, well, just let them sell the Steinway pianos, because nobody calls furious about a Lionel Richie record. They don't get angry, but they do get angry if the morning man, I was doing morning radio, and just as a little ironic gesture, I called myself the morning man because there weren't any morning women. But the 12 Days of Christmas, like every 12 days of Christmas, every radio station
we
runs
do some sort of
12
promotion.
days of Christmas. You get a better prize every day. And the grand prize, they market it as your sure, almost sure chance to be a bazillionaire because they were going to give you 500 lottery tickets. I don't really gamble. Yeah, I like food. So when I went to the fair, I was more interested in the cotton candy than the chance that you could win a big stuffed dog if you threw a ball somewhere. I also not very athletic. And also I could see that nobody was winning the stuffed dog, but that everybody who paid for cotton candy got cotton candy. Right. So it became pretty obvious to me that gambling at that point was a bad idea. And I've carried that with me all my life. And so I thought it was just ludicrous to market the big prize as essentially $500 worth of lottery tickets, and to try and make people believe they're. So I explained this on the air that I'm not a big, but and that personally I thought the idea that you were going to be a millionaire was a long shot. And as it happened, there was a story about this couple who had gotten their kids back out of foster care because they had won the lottery. And I also mentioned it, just luck of the draw, that if they'd spent a little less money on lottery tickets and a little more money on crayons and shoes and clothes, they might not have had their kids in foster care in the first place, and that nobody was talking about how many lottery tickets they actually bought before they became a billionaire.
Which on itself is all true.
I'm judgmental.
Yeah.
I make a living being judgmental. So I passed judgment on these people. And then I went on to say, if you were lucky enough to win these 500 supposedly tickets to the high life, that just to see if they really mean it, if you were the lucky winner, maybe ask the station if they would just give you the $500 and keep their lottery tickets. Yeah, that was my job. That was pretty much my job. I don't know if that was the last one, but I could have just kept my mouth shut.
Was somebody outside the studio going?
No, they would wait till I got off the air, and then they'd haul me in. And that's the guy with the rubber chicken in his office.
Oh, the rubber chicken. Oh, ew.
That's the rubber chicken guy.
Oh, he was
That's the station.
That was a whole bad scene.
Well, got me started doing talk radio, so I was grateful for that.
That's true.
Right
that's
after
true.
that, were you?
Very shortly. I don't remember. They suspended me all the time. They suspended me. I believe they suspended me often until they'd had enough.
Because you voiced your mind. But if it was
but
do
it really,
you think that would have
yes,
been
because
a
that's
difference?
Sales. Don't F with the salespeople, and I should not have done it.
But it's hard though, unless you do understand that they're the ones who are kind of the engine a little bit to a degree.
Don't you know what in the punch bowl?
Yeah,
That's a bad idea. And to be truthful, now that I have the experience that I have, I would not do that now, because I have a clearer sense of where my money comes from.
Well,
Well, I found out shortly after the same station where we were all let go after the OJ thing. I went into sales for 13 and a half years.
Did you?
Yeah, for pharma sales for 6.5, and then tech sales for like Nextel and Sprint until Sprint decided to fire us all in 2008. That's when I got an appreciation for sales, and it kind of all gelled in my head about, oh yeah, the people at the station doing that, duh, because we were sort of
they put you in a silo.
Yeah,
and it's a mistake that station managers
Yeah.
do. They really should. Oh, the farmer and the cowhand should be friends. We should know the salespeople, and they should know us because we're the product that they're selling, and we should know who's selling us.
That's true.
Exactly.
But there's also, I hate to keep saying my book, but there's a piece in my book where I'm sitting on a panel, and I'm the afternoon drive host in the top 20 market, and the salespeople were there. Women, mostly. It was a women's event. And I was on a panel with a bunch of women who didn't do what I did. They were on teams, or they were on kids television, or they did other things than what I did. And
it's all coming back to me
They're
now.
talking about their longevity in the market and how they've managed. And somebody said, well, why do you have your own show? And I said, well, I don't have a husband and I don't have children, and that's no accident. Typically, the women on the teams, they don't get paid as well. They don't get as much respect. I felt bad for the woman who was on a team. I was sitting there,
Well,
even when they're better than the guys,
Yeah.
and but oftentimes the numbers aren't hung on them either. If the
That's-
show
that's
does
true.
poorly, the guy gets fired, and he has to move, and his family has to move, and the kids have to move, and the women
That's
stays
true.
put. So it's a calculation that, and not in your case, obviously, you did things differently, but it's a calculation that a lot of women make for the sake of having a marriage and a family. And that is a calculation that I made, and I have no husband and I have no family. So, and it has been a change in my career when I had children and I didn't want to drag them around the country, and I worked a lot less. And by then technology had improved and I could put a studio in my house and work for different places. But it was absolutely clear that if I wanted to be full-time on the air somewhere, I was going to have to pack up my husband and kids and dog and move. And I made the same call that a lot of women make, which is that the career will just kind of go on the sideline for a while. So I just made it later than other people.
That worked for you.
Well,
You were okay with that decision.
I don't regret it, if that's
Right.
the
That's
question.
what-
Not
that's
at
what I mean.
all.
No,
We're recording this on Mother's Day.
That's
Yeah, we should
right.
note that.
And I got
we were sipping mimosas fittingly.
That's
Yes.
true. And with the de rigueur holiday drink for Mother's Day.
That's why I got them.
And I had the younger one. The older one left a message. I was on the air. And the younger one, they never, by the way, remember when I'm on the air, which is hilarious.
They're so involved with their own lives.
No, well,
No, I know.
I told you the story when we first moved here. This isn't in the book, I don't think. Some mother at their school was having a new parents event, and we were there, and I use my married name when I'm not working for safety of the children mostly.
Oh, okay.
And someone put two and two together because there aren't a lot of Turis.
Oh, it's in the book. Go
And,
on.
oh yeah. She said, "Are you Turi Ryder?" And I said, "Yeah." Because at that point I had been on GN for a while and then wasn't. And she said, I listened to you every night. I thought you were hilarious. And my older kid, without even thinking about it, says, I didn't think anybody listened to my mom. And but
That's cute.
Everything's a calculation. Howard Stern kept saying, when I do this, I'll be more with the family. When I do that, I'll be more. And you wait around, and eventually, nobody's coming home to be with the family.
Yeah.
And if you want to have a spouse, it works both ways. There are a lot of women who say, move one more time, and that's it for us.
Yeah.
Or get off morning drive, or that's it for us. And men do. To be fair to them, they also make these calculations. But what I would say is they get to make those calculations more
They get
often
to.
than
Right.
women do.
That's right.
Mhm.
Higher probability of them being allowed to make them than women.
Yes, and that's a fundamental flaw in all of.
But it's just the way it is. And once you realize that this is the way it is, you can choose to do something else too. And I was having so much fun. I was like, well, why would I do something else? This is great when it's
Right.
the right thing.
Right.
So, you make your choices, and then you have some afterthoughts, and you have some rosy memories. So, but couldn't you say that about anything?
I've never done anything.
I know. I guess.
I
yeah.
have no idea what the other thing would be.
I know. See, I've had I feel 3 different, careers. Radio, and then I was pharma sales and tech sales, and then I went back into radio, and I was doing TV too. And, commercials, and then I became an author and then a dog walker. So I feel like I've had so many chapters, but
What's one of the reasons the podcast is worth listening to, which is how we got worth listening to this podcast, which is you bring all that experience and you can talk about it.
Yeah.
And you've lived a lot of different lives that a lot of your listeners will
never
understand.
live. Yeah.
Well, but they'll appreciate or
maybe.
it adds to the
Or they'll say, can she not stick to one thing?
No. Have you ever been to an old age home where they have no flavor in the food at all? I mean, technically, oh my God, there's this really, really fancy, in a really fancy suburb, and I won't name it because I'm about to follow my own rule of bigger, better lies or more of the truth. There's a waiting list, and it's
Oh my gosh.
$1 zillion. Some relatives of mine moved into this place. Everybody's heard of it. And the plates are these beautiful artisanal fused glass plates, and you're served on linen and everything.
Oh boy.
The food, you might as well just eat oatmeal with nothing in it 24/7. It looks like it should be food, but it is not food. It's just good for you.
So the eye appeal just doesn't even make up
Not
for it.
even worth it. And I'd rather have eaten the plate, the fused glass, artisanally made. So the analogy here for you is that if you've done all these things, your food is spicier.
Oh, it's
got
been a spicy
flavor.
life.
It's not just good for people. It's flavorful. When
Yeah.
you, Holly, can
I
say
totally
to me,
agree.
you didn't sell tassels and do nothing else. You showed up at fairs and you made connections and you flew off to do stuff and you had to deal with the kids going, "You missed my baton twirling," or whatever they did.
Right.
And you brought them, and I'll bet you on Mother's Day they tell you that the kind of mom you are is a better kind of mom because of the life that you lived and the choices you made. You're spicier.
Well, yeah. But the good thing is they never held one thing against me.
Why should
Wow.
they?
My whole, like in childhood, and my whole thing was I would try so hard to make I was not a room mom. I didn't join the PTO or whatever. But
Good for you.
I made
You were a working girl.
I made all their sports games for the most part. I made their plays.
Wow.
I made those the priority, like the
Good.
musicals.
That's a lot.
And so I didn't miss stuff.
Good.
Because I was flexible too.
Yeah.
I mean, I work for myself, but I was on the run a lot. And I know with my daughter, I developed a really good work ethic. My other two kids, my son worked since he was 11. So it was
He'll
about
be a better husband
it was
because
about
he
a
saw you.
it was about the work ethic that they took from me.
He'll be a better husband because he saw you.
I hope so.
That's your takeaway for today.
Yes,
As
that's-
a Mother's Day
You have
message.
raised a better husband, and you have raised a stronger wife. Two girls?
Two girls.
Two
Yes.
strong wives, if they choose to get married, because they saw it and lived it and experienced it. And that really makes a difference.
Thank you. What a compliment.
Happy Mother's Day
Thank
to you.
Happy Mother's Day.
And no one's in
you.
jail, right? Right? Nobody's good?
No.
Well,
No, not yet.
I don't know.
No.
She's been getting a lot
I'm
of
not in
calls, a
jail.
lot of urgent calls. I'm a little concerned.
Oh, that first call from the school. The first time I got a call from the school.
Oh, no.
Oh my God.
Did you know? I mean,
I had no idea. No.
Oh.
I tossed the room.
you tossed
What do
the
you mean?
room. What does that
Grew
mean?
up?
No, I went through,
Oh, tossed the room, went through everything.
Everything.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Everything.
So now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The expression.
I
Got
had
it.
never even opened a drawer.
And then all of a sudden you said, I
a
got to find
call.
out everything.
I got a call, and I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Round she goes and the needle stops here. So I did what I had to do. We got all kinds of truth, and when the kid got home, there was a little pile on the table, and I said, we're either going to deal with this now, and you're gonna have to deal with it later in a much worse way, and we're going to deal with it. And we did. Nobody's in jail, and everybody's doing well, and I'm really, really glad that that's the point at which I got to deal with it. But
You seem like a very communicative parent.
no shit.
So
Yeah,
there were, I mean,
You're
like
What's your
really
first clue?
yeah. So like you're but like open, come to me, and they can tell you, they can dump your stuff on.
Not really. No, there are things I would highly disapprove of that they knew if they came to me and told
Okay.
me these things that I was not. I'm a pretty demanding person. And I don't mean that in terms of you will get all A's. I mean, you will comport yourself in a way that's honest and respectful, and you will. But again, there was every trust extended until the trust disappeared.
Got it.
And then we had to work it back. And it's been interesting. Now you don't have this with dogs. At a certain point, they're not going to tear up your house.
No, well, one hopes, but
at a certain point.
At a certain point.
Yeah.
And I know they're not going to take my car and drive it, although that almost happened with Harvey, but that was my fault. Well, leaving him, leaving it going while I grab a cough. Yeah. And I remember hearing someone behind me in line going, well, that's an accident waiting to happen. And I went, what are they talking about? I went, oh, that's me. Because Harvey's sitting in the driver's seat.
Oh, my God.
Because it was a drop top.
Oh, my God.
Mini Cooper.
And it was moving?
And no, he was just sitting there looking, but they're figuring, hey, big paw, he could just brum.
I suppose.
Yeah, and I thought, well.
But can he clutch?
Well, he was brilliant, so yes, he could have.
Okay.
With very large paws.
Just checking.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was a freaking
Shift.
genius.
No problem with the
I'm
manual.
sure he watched me enough.
Okay. Yeah, they learn by watching.
I want to know what you're up to now.
What I'm up to
I know
now.
you've got the podcast, which reminds me, this is how Turi and I connected. On LinkedIn, Turi made the nicest comment about our podcast saying, oh, I just listened to LiseDominique's podcast and you just said some nice things. I don't remember. It wasn't floored or anything, but you just said you were entertained and whatever. And I don't even remember the rest of the context, but I remember reading that going, what? I was so overwhelmed that I was so moved thinking that here's this person I haven't seen since 1995.
Wow.
And haven't had any contact with really, other than being vaguely aware.
But your work is good. I was happy to listen to your work because your work was good. And
I
it
don't even
is
know how you
good.
found it,
This is fun. Someone asked me about that station and where people were.
Oh, and what they were doing. Oh, and then maybe.
And I made a point of looking for you in particular.
It came up
and
that
I
had a
listened.
podcast.
And because if it had been certain other people, I wouldn't have even bothered. But because it was you, I went and sought it out and listened and enjoyed
Thank you.
it. And
It's very kind of you to say.
so I just said, she has a podcast worth listening to. It's
Sweet.
But, and
I am not sweet.
No, she's not
okay.
sweet.
No,
It was,
not sweet.
It was a nice,
But it was
very nice
sincere.
thing.
I would not have. We weren't in close touch. I didn't have to say
No.
anything. It was a true, as my aunt of blessed memory would have said, it was a true fact, as opposed to false facts. It was a true fact, and I was happy to say so.
Well, and because she is who she is and the way she is why it meant more to me. Because I know she would not just dole out plaudits. Nope. Just and I thought, wow, this means something. And I was very
now
very
that's sweet.
Well, I was very touched because I knew it wasn't one of those empty butt kissing things. I was like, she had no reason to say this. So I reached out and I said, gosh, thank you so much. And, whatever. I see that you have a podcast too, and I'll start listening to it. And because I didn't know about it before. And I had seen that you written a book, and I hadn't read it yet. But that's how we got connected. And then after, I don't know, this was a while ago. I think it was late last year. And so then I said, hey, I'd like to have you on my podcast. And I've been listening to some of yours, which, by the way, your podcast, which is also the same title as
Turi
your
Ryder, She Said What. If you just put in She Said What as a podcast, I think it's a minister.
Oh, ew.
I don't have a problem with ministers. Have at it. I
know,
just
but I
want to make
mean-
sure it's not me. That's all.
Turi Ryder, She Said What? TuriRyder. Turi Ryder, She Said What? So
You're underselling yourself a little bit here.
I'm not talking about myself at all. I'm talking about you.
But your podcast is really.
Oh,
And now
well,
I have to read your book about your dog. So
Oh, well, it won't take long.
I have to read it. I'll buy a copy. I'll buy a copy.
This is only one of 5 left of
Really?
of the second printing.
Well, I will buy one because there are always kids I have to. There's a leaf pressed in that book and it's autographed.
I can't. Yeah, well, it's pautographed. This is Harvey's paw. But the leaf, I can't. We can't talk about it right now. I'm going to cry.
I'm sorry.
I just grabbed one. I only
Let's
have 5
not look.
left.
Sorry.
Oh,
I know it's family.
yeah. But the leaf. Anyway, I'm not going to go into it now. So,
Then I
Okay.
wanted to meet you.
yes,
Because
and
I
she wanted
got
me
to hear
Holly.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
She's kind of a natural, isn't she? She's just sort of blah, blah, blah.
Natural. But I
Well,
feel
you're a
like
good
you're a
conversationalist.
celebrity in my eyes.
She is a celebrity.
I mean, my God, your past, your book, your ongoing everything.
I should have more money. That's what I should have.
Oh my God!
it's a
you
labor
just
of
reminded
love.
me of that was sort of like a oh God, who's that woman? She wrote Heartburn. That was a Nora Ephron. That was a Nora. That was so Nora Ephron. I can't even tell you. Yeah, just the way you tossed her head.
She's awesome.
She
I
is
liked her
awesome.
best title about her book, Which I Now Live. I Feel Bad About My Neck.
I feel bad about my neck.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's a good one.
It's really
Boy.
depressing.
We all get to this point.
Well, because here's the thing. I don't know if you do this. I go to the mirror, and in the mirror you
all the
can
time.
do like 2-second plastic surgery and just see how you would look
Every stinking day.
if you jacked up
all
your
the
skin
time.
just a little bit.
We were doing that in college, but now I do it, and I do it for
it a
real.
lot.
Like going, I wonder how much.
I wonder how much it would
would
cost to
cost.
get. I wonder how much it
know.
would cost to get this jacked up a little
Right,
bit.
I just want a half facial, just like
The
this
mini-
part.
the mini lift.
The mini lift,
Right.
yeah. The lower. A friend of mine just had that done, and I looked at her and I went, "I want what you got." I mean, and I just thought, "Oh boy," but property taxes.
Yeah, there's that. I have a
There's
girlfriend
that.
who retired from years and years of television, and she said, I never have to have anything else lifted again.
TV
If you
commercials
go
were
to
more
Europe,
fun.
the women there get old on TV more so
Yes,
than
they
here.
do, and I gotta say, they look really good.
for
And
them.
they don't look like they've had work. They just take better care of their skin.
It's not even that. I think it's that
It's accepted.
they're more. I mean, I haven't. I'll be back in Europe this fall, so I'll give you an update on whether the women have wrinkled at all. But I remember them looking more like people.
Yeah.
And we'll see. I just, I like not knowing what people knowing what I look like. It's better. It's a
That's
way to
what
move
was-
through the world. This is true of radio also, but I think it's another level if you're on people's TV screens. If you do your job well, they feel that they know you.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
They
And
feel very familiar.
Oftentimes they feel that they're friends with you. And so it leads to interesting exchanges where they come up and talk to you. And if you may have better memories of when you've met someone or their names, but because I have a terrible memory, I spend the first 5 minutes of these interactions trying to figure out if I know the person or if they've met me at some function or if I've never seen them before in my life. But when you have that relationship, I'll just give you, for instance, I have a friend who spent many decades on television and went through a serious health crisis, and people just came up to her all the time, well-intentioned. But, she's going through cancer treatment. She doesn't really necessarily want to talk to people right then and there when she's picking up her prescription in the line at the Osco.
Right.
And you don't get that layer of peace and quiet around you. And I heard a famous Broadway television actor I think he describes himself as like B- list, but he's very happy to be able to move about the world without
Being recognized.
being, sometimes people say something, but when you really spend a lot of time, Lisa, if you had been on TV every night,
I would have hated it.
well, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I would have, and I would have felt unsafe, honestly.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, it's bad enough when they recognize your voice, which I'm sure that's happened to you. It's bad enough, but then to see your face and then just living alone, it's like, oh, I don't think so. I used to have one guy who regularly, when I was on the loop, and then he'd follow me, he'd find the other places where I was working. He would send me money.
Oh, God.
What?
He would send me money in the mail, cash money.
God.
It got to the point where wherever I was, someone would bring an envelope and they jingle
How
jangle.
much money?
Not a lot. Not like $3, $4, $5.
In case you needed it.
In case I needed it.
Oh,
You
he'd
know,
send it to the station?
He'd send it to the station.
Okay.
And they'd be like, oh, you got your monthly. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
And and all I could think of was just, I'll open it up, but one day there might be some bad powder in here or something, But
Never eat anything sent by it. Never eat anything.
that
Sent
is
by a fan.
a golden rule. That is the rule. And
You feel terrible. Somebody's made you a pound of
Yeah.
homemade,
Oh, yeah.
turtles, and you
Yeah.
can't. You just
can't.
You just
You
cannot.
can't risk it.
It goes in the trash. I don't care which
Immediately.
TV station or radio station, whatever, in the trash. So don't ever even bother. As much as you might think, oh, they know me.
Yeah. No. they
No.
don't.
never. And that killed me because I was starving all the
The
time.
flip side of this, by the way, if you're listening to this, it's fine to order 20 pounds of Godiva on Amazon and have that delivered. Just
There you go.
have that delivered right here to the podcast.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would,
that's
as long as it's
safe.
being delivered.
She would eat that. So just know,
Yeah.
Okay.
that would be okay.
Do you know what I did last night? I was telling this to Holly. Generally, never drink alone. I just don't. I rarely drink. I mean, I go out with friends and maybe once a month, and I have a couple drinks. Last night, for some reason, I had an Arnold Palmer, and I thought, well, maybe a little vodka would be good in this. I've never done that before, but it's lemonade too. So I wake up this morning. I didn't have a lot. I probably had.
We're not counting. It's
Yeah,
okay.
no, I'm just.
We don't think you have a problem. It's all right.
If I wasn't even an ounce, because people tease me, they go, "Oh, it's get a Lisa pour," which means light, not even an ounce. So I woke up this morning and going through my email. I don't know why I started talking about this, but anyway, I went Vermont Country Store. Thank you for. I went wait. Dragged it back out of the trash, put it into the inbox. I went, what?
What did you order?
I ordered $68 worth of clearance candy.
Did you really?
Oh yeah, good stuff.
You're sure it's not a hacking thing? Where they,
Oh no, because
you really bought the what
because it
candy?
was everything I like. Well, sponge candy,
Okay,
and then some German candy with
with a kn in it.
Yeah,
Kniefer Knaffel.
well, like
Kuchen-
yeah, right, exactly. Or and then it was malted milk balls. 'Cause they have these, I know, right?
How do you eat the malted milk balls? Do you collapse them and then suck out the middle of the malted milk ball, or do you just bite?
You're so close. I bite them in half.
Uh-huh.
And then
you
I
stick your
suck
tongue.
out. I stick my tongue and
Till it
then
melts.
eat that.
Yeah.
And then the other half.
Yeah.
And then out. And then and then on to the next melted milk ball.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bite it in half. Suck out the innards. Suck out the innards.
Nobody wants to just bite down. If I met someone who just bit down on a malted milk ball, I would not trust that person.
Oh, not even.
I
with-
don't eat malted milk balls. They're just not for me.
That's okay, more for us.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Well, we still like you, I guess.
Okay.
It's all right.
Well,
It's really
maybe
okay. And I bet you don't like the Kniffel Club.
I don't know anything about that.
Oh, you would if you had it.
Okay.
I don't
Or
know.
maybe you wouldn't.
We
I
have a
don't
very
know.
good friend who's German,
Yeah.
and he's always trying to prepare for us these
Kitchen.
and I always take a bite,
Yeah.
and I always think, thank God this is not my ethnic group.
Oh.
If my mother made these, I don't know. I would have. On the other hand, if my mother had made these, I would not be a generously proportioned person. I would have spent my whole life going.
That would help. Unfortunately, my mother was Danish, and she used to make
They
wonderful
do things with butter.
pastries.
Butter.
Yes, they
Yes,
do.
butter.
And you know what? That's my
And
latest
it doesn't
thing.
really matter what you do to it if it's got an entire stick of butter
Exactly.
in it. That's right.
I am now eating butter raw.
Wow.
It's my 10:30 thing.
What?
Really?
It's that
Well, butter's good for
Kerrygold.
you.
Gold. Well,
Oh.
that's
good stuff.
It's that Kerry, and I take a little knife, not a little knife, but I take one of those little. I have a baby fork. I guess people use it. I'm sure it's left
When
over.
they have babies often.
Wait, or no, I think it's a shrimp. People use it for shrimp or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
I don't know. It's a tiny one, and I just sort of do a little thin layer,
A curl.
and then another one.
Really?
Yeah, and it's at 10:30.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not helping, my body, but
I wouldn't worry about it.
tastes so good.
You gotta. I
Yeah.
think someone I knew once just said, "Sure, if I eat a healthy diet, maybe I'd live another 10 years, or maybe it would just feel like that."
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Maybe just be so good. Well, anyway, the one other thing I want to ask you about, because oh my God, we've never done one this
You
long.
can chop it in half.
This is insane. We're going to do two-parter.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to know what you're doing right now besides
The
the
podcast.
podcast. You are on the air, live
I
on the air.
am. I am on WCPT. I do it weekends, which is fine. I love it. It's
Your
just
shift?
it's what I call the Goldilocks job. It's not too much. It's not too little.
Yeah.
It's just right. And I do that, and I do a lot of their fill-in and all the free theater tickets I can eat.
Ooh,
Yes.
that's a nice perk.
I do talk. I like to talk to creative people. And one of the joys of talk radio is you get to talk to people you wouldn't otherwise get to meet or speak with.
or have access to.
Right.
It's a great thing. So if there's somebody, the star of Amadeus here at Steppenwolf, or the writer of the show that's going to Broadway, or it's just a joy to be able to virtually meet those people. I don't invite them to the studio. I prefer actually not to have them in the studio. I want to hear what the audience is hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting.
Now,
Yeah.
do you find these people, or do you have like
Producer?
a producer finds
I'm
them? Yeah.
usually self-produced. If I'm
Oh,
doing a
okay.
lot of fill-in, the person for whom I'm filling in has a producer, show booker, and I certainly, if there's somebody that they usually speak with and you don't want to deprive them of their usual window of opportunity, or there are other forces in play. But for my own show, I like to do that myself.
And you content them yourself?
I do.
Oh, wow.
I don't have
So
any.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. Or I contact the publicist is more like
okay.
Yeah,
work.
at that level.
Well,
yeah,
that's a lot of
it.
extra work, it seems like.
It is,
But
I don't
Yeah.
mind.
yeah, it's your jam.
I really it is work, but it's also a pleasure,
Okay. Great.
And
as
it's
work should be.
Yes.
Exactly. You gotta do what you love.
There's that
Somewhat.
great Chicago line. I don't want nobody sent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want.
It's like my people
It's so
talk to your
Chicago.
people, and
Well, it was when it was patronage when you used to. This was in Forrest. I'm going to
the
give a
Daily
plug
era,
to
the
Forrest
first
Claypool,
Daily
who
era.
wrote a great book, The Daily Show. He
I
wrote
know
it.
Forrest.
Well, Forrest wrote a terrific book about
That's-
Chicago politics. And
I
the
almost died at his second wedding. That was the one where I had the anaphylactic shock that I was in for. That's that
would
one.
that be shrimp?
No, it wasn't shrimp. No, it was nuts and seeds.
Oh God! So you
Just-
could have
but
him on
anyway.
the podcast because he wrote a terrific book, and he was talking about the patronage system where he was trying to get a job, and so he knocked on the door of his local precinct boss. I think it would have been. I don't recall exactly. And he said, well, he was there to volunteer on a campaign, and the guy leaned back behind his desk and chomped his cigar and said, I don't want nobody sent.
I love that line.
I'm telling you that's the way it
great.
was.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do the podcast, I do the radio show. I love to talk to interesting people. I like to go places where they're interested in the book and talk about the book. Oh, and I teach a class in podcasting at Truman College once a year.
That's
fun.
cool.
That's fun.
Again, the joy is to meet the people who
Yeah.
are full of fire and want to talk about their passions. And they have some of them you think, I don't know. All right. And other people you think this person has it and they're going to be great at it. And the interesting thing is that you can never fully know where it will land, where they'll go with it. And sometimes you remember the show Car Talk?
No.
Oh, it was on public radio. It was these two guys from Boston. They were mechanics. They were also PhDs from MIT. They were the biggest thing
Oh,
on
is
public
that
radio
all?
for decades
Yeah.
and decades. Supposedly the show was about auto repair, but really it was about relationships. And so my point in mentioning this is
And that was the vehicle. Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
very good.
Sorry, I hate puns.
No,
but-
I love
yeah.
puns when they're good. So the point that I'm making is somebody wants to tell have a podcast, and maybe the idea doesn't rock my world, but if they make it interesting, then I'll listen. So that's what I try to help them do, is put their material out there in the most interesting way
Well,
possible.
there's a plug for when's your next
Once a
school-
year is plenty for me.
once a year? Okay. Is it so? It's once a semester. Once a year.
Once a year. I did it twice
fall
this
semester?
year.
Oh, you've already done it.
I just finished.
Okay.
actually.
No more plans
Next spring. You can. The Truman College website will have it.
Okay, Truman College. Marcy Persky, she is hysterical. You guys must have been friends for a long, long, long time. And I don't know why her name is so familiar to me. She had to be involved in broadcasting
She was
somehow.
the Midwest editor of UPI when there was a UPI.
When there was a UPI.
And she was on the air in Michigan all over the place and wrote in Michigan and hosted talk radio in Michigan. And she was an entertainment writer. And she's pretty much retired and lives on a mountain above the Grand Canyon in
And
Arizona.
cows keep coming into her yard. Cows, right?
Yes, it's a open range state. You
my
can't keep people's.
gosh.
The only thing you can do is to fence your property to keep the cattle off your property. But if you have a big property, that's a lot of fence.
Yeah.
So they have a pretty big property because it's the middle of nowhere in Arizona. I make fun of this. It's up on a mountain, down a road. Don't, everybody's, if you come down the road, they will shoot you. There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Oh.
But she has not fenced her property, so periodically the cattle waltz through and
How
make themselves at home.
funny.
Holly, don't you think she and her co-host
Oh, it's hilarious.
The
And plus,
chemistry
it's
is
super
so good.
relatable. Like I can understand
The
your
cattle come
stories.
through your. Where do you live?
Oh, no,
Cattle
not
in your.
the cattle.
I'm teasing you.
I'm just talking
I'm
about
teasing you.
She
I
lives
know there.
around-
You live in Lake Bluff. There are no
around
cattle
the
here.
block. But I can relate. I can relate to your stories, and they're funny.
Oh, thank you. And my girlfriend has different stories. She has
She has a very different lifestyle.
very different lifestyle. They farmed in Michigan. They had a farmette.
Well, I understand that I thought she still lived there, but I couldn't tell.
She's from Kalamazoo.
Mm-hmm.
And she's on marriage number.
Oh, yeah.
And she talks a lot about her very young, good-looking husband.
She does, doesn't she?
He's very young and very good-looking.
Yeah, she seems still pretty turned on by
She's
him.
totally. Well,
Yeah.
you know what? We've all had our stories, and the three of us have discussed our matches. But God bless Marcy, she did not give up on love. But this guy, they were friends, and he is significantly younger. And when he rather thought he might like to change the nature of their relationship, she said, "This ridiculous, go away." And she kept saying, "Go away." It really took a long time for him to convince her that he was really serious. And they've been married, 16 years now. And I think she's comfortable that he's really serious.
Yeah.
Adopted the daughter from the marriage before this one and has been a stellar. And again, these guys are out there. He's a Chicago boy.
Oh, well, I think
wow.
Midwest guys are pretty great. Yeah.
He's a solid guy, and just we should all be so. Some of us are so lucky, and some of us
I'm happy.
are happy. I still say that if
I'm
my
very
husband were
happy.
abducted by aliens tomorrow, he would not be replaced.
Oh, no.
Not at all.
No, after all of the relationships I've had since getting divorced.
No, thank you.
I was like, I've been alone now for a while. I feel really good.
There's a line in a Beckett play. I wish I could remember which play, but the stage is occupied by no one, and the voice, presumably of God, says, "I am alone. Good."
That says it all.
And I think, all right, then. That would be, I'm not that I'm God or the voice of God,
Yeah.
but if God forbid aliens abducted my husband, I've had my share of, and he does wonderful, lovely things for me, but I would hire a gardener and a plumber and I would hire somebody to do those things. And the other stuff, there's a story in the book about when I was young and juicy and dating, and I was on the air in the morning in Highland Park, and then I didn't make enough money. I had 3 jobs and I still qualified for food stamps. And one of my jobs was as a lifeguard and swimming teacher at the Evanston YWCA.
Oh my.
And there was a senior aquatics exercise class. And I'd be in the locker room, and these ladies who probably were our age, they'd be talking about, well, I'm not really into it so much anymore, but I love my husband and I want him to be happy. And I'm thinking, what kind of madness? Because, you're 20-something, you're like a rabbit.
Yeah.
Now, to be perfectly candid,
Now you could relate.
those ladies, I know exactly what. Sorry, I'm banging on your console. Those ladies, I know exactly. I love my husband. I want him to be happy. And if it takes a lot of tubes and formulas and things, you put up the whatever, so be it.
Well, it's in the book, so
It's all in there.
you can get the
Sounds-
down and dirty.
Yeah.
I found that amusing
It's all true.
and also relatable.
It's true. I don't know
Yeah.
about you. Maybe,
Oh, no.
if I had to do it again, maybe hormone replacement. I don't know. But, and I do have a friend who did hormone replacement, and she's, just as juicy as she was.
okay.
But it's too late. I watched her for a few years, and then I went into my doctor and said, well, what about this? She goes, oh, you're too late.
You're too late.
Too late. I don't recommend it now. I don't think it's safe now. Just to start.
Oh, boy.
It's like, I think this is how I envision it. I have no idea if this is medically analogous or not. But if you had a car sitting in your garage for like
Got it.
15 years and you just said, "Yeah, I think I'm going to drive this thing."
Yeah, that car don't start.
Even if it's, you probably want to make sure that the hoses are still okay and the
Hoses are a
clutch
little
still
cracked.
works. Yeah. So I'm like, at that point, I'm like the car that's been sitting in the garage, and my doctor basically told me so.
Yeah.
So a few hoses. You can't just say I'm going to drive this thing. It has to be done
We
delicately
need
and
some
differently
parts lubed and replaced
on a regular basis.
on a regular basis.
On a regular basis.
Maintenance is so important.
So important.
Yes.
Yeah, you're great.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I think
She's blushing. Lisa's blushing.
Yeah.
and I'm not.
She's blushing.
Am I?
Yes.
You are.
I think I'm probably just my rosacea is kicking in. Probably.
Sure.
I think I've pretty much.
I have now emptied out the bedside tables of a couple of girlfriends who have passed away, and let me tell you, we are all in the same boat.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, you really?
If you
that
really
was- I
feel
didn't
like
wanna-
aliens are going to come and abduct you, clean your bedside table out.
I already am. I'm already doing the Swedish death cleaning. We even did a show on that. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Swedish death cleaning.
Oh
You
yeah,
heard of
I
that?
got fired for talking about the appliances already once.
Oh
so,
yeah, that's right. Well, anyway, that's okay. So just to cap that part off, I think Marcy.
Marcy's great.
She's a
fabulous.
riot,
She is.
and I really. She has such a character voice. I love it.
She says that people are saying that she sounds like Marge Simpson.
Gosh,
She's raspy. She's a little raspy.
I guess she is. I've only seen that show. I don't have that channel. I don't have a lot of channels.
I don't think it. I mean, to me, she sounds like Marcy, and I love her. So I don't.
Nasally a little. Maybe that's why.
She's from Michigan. She sounds like a Michigander.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I think she's hysterically funny. She's quick on the draw. Really compatible with you, and you guys obviously have a very long-term loving.
I have
really
met
the
her
relationship.
since somebody T-boned her brand new car out in front of the Stone Container Building where we both.
Oh,
yeah.
that's where UPI was.
That's right.
Yeah, I
and
remember
Paul
that.
Harvey and WLS AM and FM.
Yeah, and then JMK too, the oldies.
MJ.
JM
Magic.
Magic. Yeah, but it was JMK, but it was Magic.
Magic. Yeah, for
Yeah.
dyslexic radio listeners.
Yeah, right. I remember my friend Carol was working there. I said, why didn't they do it MJK? She goes, I don't know. I think it was taken.
Taken.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm done, man. God, this is definitely going to be cut into two parts for sure.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh, you were a kick. I loved it. I love learning about the book. I love learning about you as an interesting, creative person and just your whole background. It was really fun.
Isn't it inspiring too to
It's
know
inspiring.
that? Like, I mean, look.
But
all
I
she's done.
want you to go all the way with this baby. I want you to get the
Well,
book. I
you're
want-
in marketing and sales. Whom do you know? That's another conversation for another day. But I'm pleased that you find it visual.
Well, I
and
would
I'm
hope
pleased
other
that you
people
find
do
it.
too.
Extremely.
I mean, you should be on. There should be something more.
No, your style of
The
writing it
next
lends
chapter
itself
should
to
be
that.
a
I'm
TV
gonna-
movie.
Are you verklempt?
Yeah, I am.
You're overwhelmed.
Yeah, those are the only words I know. Verklempt, schmuck, and
Oh,
whatever that.
Chutzpah.
Oh,
chutzpah.
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 I know that.
You got the chuh.
Yeah.
Chutzpah? Oh, the joke of the definition of chutzpah is somebody who murders his father, his mother, goes to court and throws himself at the mercy of the judge for a poor orphan.
Wait, say it. Wait.
what?
Wait, say that again.
Someone who murders his father and mother
Mhm.
and goes to court
Oh,
and says to the judge, "Have pity, I'm an orphan."
Oh,
I get it. Yeah.
it went so fast. I didn't.
Yeah.
Wait, which part am
I
I
just
supposed
assumed you'd heard it before.
No, never.
Oh, well.
Maybe that's a
That's
Yiddish
an
joke.
old definition of chutzpah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's huppah. I know that one too.
Chuppah
Huppah.
is what they get married under.
Yeah. Under.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we know a little. We know a little.
I don't know as much as I should about your Swedish stock, but I do.
Danish, French.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, in Minnesota, that's a mixed marriage, the Swedes and the Danes.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Believe me, on my mother's side, that she was marrying a man of French descent.
Oh, dear.
Ooh.
Out of the culture.
Yeah. He was very successful, so that compensated for it.
That helps.
Yeah,
That
money
always helps.
changes everything. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Holly. This was a long Mother's Day for both of you.
Was a joy.
It's okay.
It was a joy. Buy the book. She Said What? Listen to it on Audible. Turi Ryder's She Said What? Or just Turi Ryder, She Said What?
If you Google my name, more stuff will come up about me than you ever
Okay.
cared about.
TuriRyder and WCPT on Sunday afternoon and various times.
Various times.
Okay. Thank you for listening. Thanks for hanging in with us. And it was worth it, wasn't it? Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Harvey. Ladies Who Question is executive produced and edited by me, LiseDominique, and also executive produced by HolliCaulfield. Holly does research, and I do social media. Music, My Lionheart. Sketch music by Florian Manx and Matthew Anderson. Ladies Who Question is on Instagram and Facebook. Give us a like and a follow if you would, and leave us your thoughts. You can also visit our website, LadiesWhoQuestion.com.
All content discussed on Ladies Who Question are the opinions of LiseDominique and HolliCaulfield and should not be construed as advice of any kind. By listening to this podcast, you agree not to use this podcast as advice of any personal or medical issue for yourself or others. This disclaimer also applies to guests or contributors to the podcast.
Stay tuned for the rest of the story, part 2, next week.